Hi, welcome back to this week's update on my progress in my journey from pharmacist to entrepreneur. And so today I want to tell you about the progress I made in the loan signing course. And I'm kind of disappointed in myself because unfortunately I didn't make the progress that I really wanted to. If you recall from the last video, and I'll link to it at the end of this one, I am currently on the module where we're walking through the loan signing documents. I printed everything out and I was ready to go. But this week just got away from me, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself because I feel like I'm falling behind. And just with life and work, and it's the week of Thanksgiving too. So happy Thanksgiving if you're in the US and watching this. Thanksgiving was yesterday, and if you know how Thanksgiving goes, it's a busy week with family and food and cooking. So I was kind of distracted with all that. So my goal is to get back on track. I'm going to try and use the weekend to make up for lost time. Another thing that kind of distracted me, but it's a good distraction, is so I've mentioned before that I'm in Colorado, and I am now signed up with the Secretary of State's emails that pertain to notary public affairs. And so earlier in the week, they had a public hearing regarding the remote online notarization. And apparently, up until now, there's been a temporary rule or law in place for remote online notaries in Colorado. And so they had a hearing where people could give their own commentary about what they want with regard to remote online notarization or don't want, etc. And so I actually listened to the webinar that they did. It was a live webinar. I wasn't able to attend. Actually, I forgot to attend. But I listened to it, and it was very enlightening because it seems like a lot of people in the state of Colorado want them to turn the temporary law into permanent law, and it sounds like that's what they're going to do. So that's a very good thing for us, I think. Most people were for it. There were some people who didn't like the idea because they thought that there might be some fraud that might be involved, or it might be easier for people to commit fraud. I don't know, because then it got me going down a rabbit hole to look into remote online notarization, which was another reason that I went off track and off course with my studying, was because then I was looking into remote online notarization. and it's some people don't, most people want it, most people liked it. A lot of the people who gave comments talked about just how beneficial it was, especially during COVID, and they were still able to get work done, get people in their homes, get wills notarized and estates, trusts and all that stuff done. A lot of the people who called in were lawyers, people from the real estate industry, notaries as well called in. A lot of people. It was like an hour and a half of just people giving their input. So it was really good. It sounds like hopefully the state of Colorado is going to make it a permanent thing, which if they do, then some of the people who called in actually said they were doing the loan closings using remote online notarization, which means there might come a day, at least in the state of Colorado, where we can do the loan signings and do them remotely. One of the concerns with fraud, I wanted to mention this, was that people said, oh, you can't verify that the licenses are not fake and what have you. But what I learned was that the platforms that you use for the remote online notarizations have fraud detection software in them, and they have this technology that is actually better than human eyes in detecting what IDs, passports, driver's licenses, etc. are fake and which ones are real. They know how to check for all the security features, the holograms and the hidden characters and all whatnot. So sounds like it's going to be a good deal. I mean, or a good thing anyway, but they're kind of expensive. One of the things I did like was some people said that they would like it if Colorado increased the amount that we can charge for each signature. Right now it's $5 for a wet signature and $10 for an electronic notarization and $10 for remote online notarization. So they were saying because notaries have to pay for this security software to do it on these platforms that they require, and those cost money, that the state, it would be nice if the state allowed us to charge more for remote online notarization. So that's some good news on this end for those of us in Colorado. I know there are, I think, 5 or 6 other states, maybe more right now, that have already enacted permanent remote online notarization laws. So you might want to check out what your state is doing. A lot of states enacted the temporary laws because of COVID, and come December 31st, I'm assuming many other states are looking into making these laws permanent or rolling them back and just doing away with them. So hopefully yours will be a progressive state and you can do remote online notarizations and end up being able to do your loan closings remotely. A lot of the title company people who called in said they really liked being able to have notaries do the loan signings remotely. So that's something to be happy about. So even though I'm disappointed that I didn't make the progress I wanted to, I am excited that there's possibly good news on the horizon for Colorado notaries and others whose states are progressively adopting remote online notarization. Thank you for watching, and I will be back with another update video next week. Links to the loan signing course that I'm taking will be in the notes for this episode. And I thank you for watching.